Hey, sup guys, welcome back to another Remnant 2 build guide video. So today I'm going to share with you another status effect build. This is basically a status effect flamethrower. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so this is strictly a status effect build and not a mod build, meaning we don't need mod power or mod damage for this build. So our main archetype will be Challenger, so we can get the 35% increase to all damage perk. Then Medic for a secondary, so we can get the additional 25% increase to all damage perk. Okay, so there's two variations for this build. The corrosive damage and the burning or fire damage. Later on, I will show you the pros and cons for each variations. So for now, let's start with the corrosive damage. Alright, for our long gun, we'll be using the Spark Fire Shotgun with Creeping Mist mod and Maelstrom Mutator for increased elemental damage. For our melee weapon, we'll be using World's Edge with Tainted Blade Mutator so we can apply corrosive damage. Then for our handgun, we'll be using the Hellfire Flamethrower with Fetid Wounds Mutator so we can also apply corrosive damage. If you don't have the Sparkfire shotgun, you can swap this weapon with something else like the Bonesaw LMG with Hotshots mod and the Fetid Wounds Mutator so you can apply burning and corrosive damage at the same time. Alright, so for our amulet, we'll be using the Effluvium Enhancer for increased corrosive damage. Red Ring of Death, so we can duplicate all of our status effect damage. Band of the Fanatic for increased status effect damage. Blood Jewel, so we can apply bleeding with our charge melee attacks, which is important since we are going to use the Ahani Crystal Ring. It deals 5% additional damage for each status effect the target is suffering from. Meaning, the more types of status effect is inflicted to the enemy, the more our status effect damage increases. So that's why we're going to apply corrosive, bleeding, and burning at the same time. For my relic, I'm using Resonating Heart with elemental damage, range damage, and range crit chance. For my armor, I'm using the Leto Mark 1 set with the Bandit's Mask. But you can use any armor you want, depending on your preference. And lastly, here are my traits. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the pros and cons for each elemental type for this build. Starting off with the corrosive damage. So if you are using your melee attacks more, then you're going to benefit from the corrosive damage type, since your melee damage will inflict corrosive damage and bleeding damage at the same time. 312 corrosive damage and 41 bleeding. Now if I remove the blood jewel and remove the bleed damage, you'll notice how your corrosive damage drops down to 298, and that's because we're wearing the Ahani crystal, meaning the less status effect type that is applied to the enemy, the less damage your status effect is inflicted to the enemy. And that's the reason why we need to stack 3 types of element or status effect to your enemy, and that's why we have the flamethrower and the corrosive damage plus bleeding. So here's how it looks like if we stack them all up. Your corrosive damage increase up to 408, and fire damage or burning damage up to 360. Now you'll notice that the corrosive damage is much higher than the burning damage, since we're using the effluvian enhancer. Now, since your flamethrower does not have much range, this type will benefit the melee attack damage more, since it's applying corrosive damage every time you charge attack. So the best option for this is the effluvian enhancer for additional corrosive damage or increased corrosive damage. Alright, so we're now switching to the Talisman of the Sun amulet for increased burning damage. So right off the bat, you'll notice how the corrosive damage is decreased to 230 per tick. But you also notice how the burning damage is higher for this type. It deals up to 490 per tick. And obviously the fire damage is higher with this type than the corrosive damage. So basically, if you're more into using your flamethrower and want more fire damage, then the best option for you is the Talisman of the Sun. But if you want more corrosive damage with your melee charge attacks, then go for the Effluvium Enhancer. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. You can choose whatever you want depending on your preference. Alright, so that's it. I understand that this is not the best build for everyone. It's not the best status effect build. But if you're the type who wants to try something new, or like try other builds other than the the meta builds or the usual builds, this is something that you may want to consider. It's really fun to use, especially when clearing areas with the flamethrower and the charge melee attacks. This is something that you will enjoy playing with. So again, I hope you like the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys. Thank you.